Were the agents who were pulled from their duties to redact the president's name from the Epstein files working on criminal cases or national security cases or child sex trafficking cases? And are the number of agents that have been reported diverted for these purposes, is that accurate?
No.
No what?
You asked if it was accurate. I said it wasn't.
So you're saying that none of this happened? That
No, I'm saying it was inaccurate.
Okay.
If you believe the path forward is built on progress and inclusion, hit that subscribe button. Let's make this community the strongest voice for democracy online. Zoe Lofgren doesn't attack, she exposes. She walks in with Patel's own words, backed by whistleblowers and reporting, and he suddenly has nothing. No answers on redactions, no clarity on resources, not even a number for how many times Trump's name appears. Here's the tell. When facts disappear, contradictions show up fast, and Lofgren catches everyone.
Recognizes the gentlelady from California.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm concerned by reports that FBI agents have been diverted from their important work on crime and anti-terrorism to work on matters that are not critical to our safety. I'd like to play the video, the whole video
Jeffrey
clip.
Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean, there's...
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
So, but the Black Book, it's not just sitting, I mean, that's Hoover power times 10.
And to me, that's a thing I think President Trump should run on. On day one, roll out the Black Book.
In contrast to that attitude of let it all out, we're getting reports of actions that run contrary to getting everything out and that also involve diversions of FBI resources. For example, an FBI whistleblower reported that you were pressured by the Attorney General to place 1,000 personnel on 24-hour shifts to mine roughly 100,000 Epstein-related records to redact President Trump's name from the files. Bloomberg reported this, that you directed FBI special agents from the New York and Washington field offices to join the Bureau's FOIA employees in Winchester and another building a few miles away, and that while reviewing the Epstein files, FBI personnel identified numerous references to Trump in the documents, and people familiar with the matter said that Trump's name, along with other high-profile individuals, was blacked out. Now, the New York Times reports, and this is a quote, Justice Department officials diverted hundreds of FBI employees and federal prosecutors from their regular duties to go through the documents at least 4 times, including once to flag any references to Mr. Trump and other prominent figures. Details of the review were based on accounts by 3 former FBI and Justice Department officials who spoke on condition of anonymity because of fears of retaliation, and further that the FBI finished after they finished its review of the files and materials was sent to a team of Justice Department lawyers who double-checked the FBI's redactions and, quote, were instructed to flag any mentions of Mr. Trump and other celebrities. Now, I have 3 questions for you, Mr. Patel, about this. First, how many times did President Trump's name appear in the Epstein files? Was it more than 100, more than 1,000? Were the agents who were pulled from their duties to redact the president's name from the Epstein files working on criminal cases or national security cases or child sex trafficking cases? And are the number of agents that have been reported diverted for these purposes, is that accurate?
No.
No what?
You asked if it was accurate. I said it wasn't.
So you're saying that none of this happened?
No, I'm saying it was inaccurate.
Okay. How many times did President Trump appear in the Epstein files? More than 100? More than 1,000?
No, and what we've been able to release is what we've been legally able to release, and that has
No,
been
that's not the
provided to
question.
public.
I asked you, how many times did the president's name appear?
I don't know.
It's your testimony. You do not know that
The
answer.
number of times, no.
Could you tell us how many agents were diverted for this task and what they were working on?
When you say diverted, you make it seem as if agents were pulled off what they do all the time. Agents at the FBI masterfully do double duty and triple duty. And because of the public's interest in this case, we flexed resources to make sure that we could answer the public's signal demand. So do you want us to look through the material and provide it to you, or you do not want us to do that?
So it's
Which
your
one is it?
it's your testimony that no one was diverted from a criminal matter, that this was a top priority to go through this material to look for Mr. Trump's name. Is that your testimony? That's the highest priority for the FBI?
What's one of the most impressive things about the FBI leadership and the careers that are in place is that they make the decisions on who to send where on priorities and make sure the mission needs are not hurt. And that's what happened here.
It's shocking to me that the FBI would think that erasing Mr. Trump's name from the Epstein files is a high priority when we have crime, we have national security threats, we have terrorism threats, we have murders such as that occurred, unfortunately, with Mr. Kirk. It's shocking to hear that that's your highest priority. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I
That's
yield
literally
back.
not what I said.
Zoe Lofgren doesn't come into this hearing to escalate anything. She doesn't need heat because she has something far more powerful: the record. And that's what makes this exchange so revealing. It isn't a clash of personalities. It's a clash between documented truth and someone desperately trying to outrun his own words. Lofgren arrives prepared with Kos Patel's past statements, public reporting, and whistleblower accounts. She brings receipts, not rhetoric. She doesn't sensationalize a single point. She simply lays it out. Patel, on the other hand, has no path to reconcile who he used to be. The man loudly calling for full transparency, urging the release of the entire Epstein Black Book, with the official he is now sitting behind the weight of an institution he clearly doesn't want to confront. That's the contrast that tells the whole story. Before power, transparency is easy to promise. After power, transparency becomes a test. And Patel fails that test almost instantly. Lofgren's first move is devastating in its simplicity. She plays a clip of Patel himself advocating for a full release of the Epstein files. She shows him celebrating the idea of exposing everything, a moment where he framed transparency as a political virtue. But as soon as she asks him to defend that same principle now, he drifts into evasions, vague denials, and a kind of bureaucratic haze where nothing is ever clear, nothing is ever specific, and nothing is ever his responsibility. Then Lofgren shifts to the reporting, and this is where Patel's discomfort becomes visible. Multiple outlets and whistleblowers describe an extraordinary reallocation of FBI manpower, not a handful of agents. Hundreds, lawyers, analysts, and field personnel allegedly pulled from criminal investigations, national security work, and even child trafficking cases, all to sanitize references to Donald Trump and other high-profile figures before the Epstein records were released. Lofgren doesn't present this as fact. She cites reporting, anonymous sources inside the DOJ, and direct statements from whistleblowers. She respects the line. But Patel doesn't. He instantly calls it inaccurate, yet offers nothing. No explanation of what's wrong, no correction, no counter-framework. Just a flat denial with no supporting detail. And that's the moment the contradictions start stacking up. He won't say how many times Trump's name appears. He won't say what work agents were pulled from. He won't confirm the numbers. He won't deny them with evidence either. He simply slides between phrases: flexed resources, public interest, masterfully doing double duty. All of which sound less like leadership and more like a man trying to rename something instead of honestly confronting it. Lofgren isn't playing politics here. She's raising the real concern. If the FBI really dedicated massive manpower to managing the political sensitivity of the Epstein files, what does that say about its priorities? Who made the decision that image management outranked active cases? And what does it mean when the institution charged with protecting the public appears more interested in protecting reputations? Then comes the detail that breaks the illusion of competence. Patel claims not to know how many times Trump's name appeared. Not, I can check. Not, "We're still reviewing," but, "I don't know," even though he is overseeing the release of these very records. That's the kind of answer that makes the entire hearing shift. Because if a director can't answer the central, factual question at the heart of the investigation, the public is left wondering what he does know and what he's choosing not to say. And then the contradiction that seals the moment. Patel insists the FBI never made this a priority, while moments earlier defending the massive reallocation of personnel as necessary. It's a logical impossibility. Lofgren hears it immediately, calls it out cleanly, and Patel's only response is to claim the contradiction never happened. This hearing isn't about a scandal. It's about the anatomy of evasion. Lofgren presents specifics. Patel glides into generalities. She cites evidence. He offers blanket rejection. She asks for accountability. He offers abstraction. And that's what makes this exchange a perfect example of congressional oversight functioning exactly as it should, shining light on the places where power relies on shadows. Because transparency is not a slogan, it's a responsibility. And when the public is told two entirely different stories, one from Patel before he held power and one from Patel now, the country deserves clarity, not confusion. If you believe public records shouldn't be filtered to protect the powerful, keep pushing for transparency. Stay engaged, stay vocal. Because accountability only fails when the public stops asking questions.